Welcome to r/EntitledParents, where an entitled mother demands that someone hand over a loaded firearm to her precious baby. So, I work at a grocery store. I'm also 24 years old, but my family has chronic baby face. This is important to the story. It's my day off, and I wanted to get some chores done, like clean the garage and give my dogs a bath. But I'm out of dog shampoo, and the garage has a major spider infestation. So I run to the store I work at for dog shampoo and bug killer. I then pass the beer aisle and think to myself how awesome a nice beer would be after I get all my work done, and pick out a couple single bottles of brands I've been meaning to try out. Behind me, I hear someone loudly exclaim, "Ahem!" I look behind me and see a woman with a full cart and baby in the seat. I assume I must have been in her way, as I did have earbuds in and I take a while to read the labels when I decide to try a new beer. "Oh, sorry," I say, moving out of the way. "You're not old enough to buy that, are you?" she scoffs. Yes, I am. I know I look really young. I get it a lot." "Don't lie to me. I have 3 boys. 2 of them are teens. I know what you kids get up to." She then points to the bug killer in my cart. "And I bet you're getting that to get high off, aren't you?" "Miss, I'm old enough. It's my day off work, and I'm getting some stuff done like killing spiders in my garage, giving my dogs a bath, and then relaxing with a nice beer." "Then show me your ID." "No." "Then you're lying." "Lady, I don't need to show you my ID unless you're a cop or an employee here. It has my private information on there." She huffs and looks around, possibly for an employee or someone else to back her up, but no one was around, so I just leave. A few minutes later, I'm at checkout in the self-scan. And guess who I see again? Entitled Mother. She glares at me again and watches as I scan the beers and then wait for the employee to clear me for it. When the employee walks up, Entitled Mother loudly says, "You better check his ID, he's underage." The employee just kinda looks dumbfounded at her. Miss, he works here. I know for a fact he's over 21. I sold him beer before." Entitled Mother goes quiet. She probably wasn't expecting that I did, in fact, work here. She scoffs and says, "Well, can't ever be too careful these days," and walks off. The employee and I have a laugh about it as she scans my ID and then I pay for my stuff. So, this entitled parent's kids apparently try to get high by sniffing poison? Those are some grade A genes you got there, lady. Our next Reddit post is from King B Man. "I'm at the park with my daughter and girlfriend, helping her play on the slide, as cute kid is running around with a stranger's kid, playing with a fake gun and finger guns. Now, I'm trying to make it a personal habit to always carry my gun with me wherever I go. I fully conceal it as much as possible, but I'm guessing when I reached up to put my baby girl on the slide, it must have revealed it. Cause next thing I know, I feel a tug at my shirt where my gun is, so I quickly turn around and it goes as follows. 'What's up, little buddy?' The cute kid says, 'Let me see your gun. We're playing cowboys and he doesn't have one.' He points to his friend. 'No, sorry pal. No one can have this but me. It's dangerous.' The cute kid looks angry, so he pretends to shoot me and runs off. Over? I hoped, but no. Soon I hear a ahem. What? 'Why can't my kid play with your toy?' What toy? 'The toy gun on your hip.' No, sorry. This is a real gun and it's dangerous. I proceed to check to make sure it's still hidden under my shirt, and it is. 'So just take the bullets out and let him play with it.' How about you F off?" She has a baffled look. "Well, I never. What's the harm of him playing with it if it's unloaded?" I'm sure you haven't, and because loaded or not, I'm not letting a child play with an effing gun, you halfwit. Don't you have someone else's business to mind? "I'm going to call the police because you have a gun at a park." Go right ahead, it's a public place. She huffs and storms off, not to be heard from again. It was an annoying encounter that put a damper on my already sour day. So when the entitled mother says, "What's the harm of him playing with it if it's unloaded?" I'll tell you exactly the harm. Step 1. Police? Yes, there's a child here on the playground with a real gun. Step 2. Son, this is the police. Put that gun down immediately. Step 3. Put your hands up, mister! Pew, pew, pew! And at that exact moment, that police officer has to make a decision. Does he shoot a kid who's pointing a real gun at him, or does he risk getting shot himself? Our next Reddit post is from SSG Vegito. Background, so I work at a pretty big pretzel company, but for privacy reasons, I will call it Uncle Uns. Anyway, I had worked there for a year already, and this happened pretty early in my second. This particular pretzel place was inside a small amusement park in Pennsylvania, not Hershey Park, important for later. Alright, enough lame backstory, now onto the juicy story. So it was the last 5 minutes after my shift, so I'm tired and want to go home. We were busy cleaning and not paying attention to the window because normally most families would have left by this point. Then we hear a knock on our window. I'm the cashier, so I walk up to the window and say the line I always say. Hi, how can I help you today? The entitled mother standing there says, Yeah, are you closed? We closed 5 minutes ago. Great, do you have any leftover pretzels? Yeah, we do. Why? Can I have them? How many would you like? 5. Alright, that comes to $21.15, $4.23 a pretzel. What? Aren't they discounted? If you have a season pass, it's 15% off. No, you're closed, so the pretzels should be half off. I wanted to go home and stopped caring. And why do you think that? You're closed, so that means the pretzels are a day old and should be discounted. We switch out our pretzels every 30 minutes. These pretzels are only 30 minutes old. Fine, babe, do you still want them if they're full priced? The tired dad standing with her said, I don't care, hurry up so we can go home. Fine, so I can get 15% off, right? If you have a season pass, yes. No, I should get 15% off because you're closed. Ma'am, no, as you stated we're closed, so we're no longer selling pretzels. I'm only offering them to you because my boss wants as many sold as possible. See, you can't sell them, so they're free. No, they're not. I'll take them home and eat them for my dinner. I was too tired to care as I had just worked a 5-hour shift. I know that's not a lot, but it was 95 degrees Fahrenheit and I had to deal with kids the whole time. Plus, I'm 15 and they can't have me on for much longer. You don't need them. My kids are hungry. Then buy them some food. No, they are free. For me, yes. For you, they're $4.23. Mommy, can we go home now? The entitled mother starts screaming something that no one but dogs could understand and leaves. OP, you should have just stared at her dead in the eyes and thrown away every single pretzel you had. It would have been worth it for the look on her face. Our next Reddit post is from Sweet Trevor. Alright, first post on here. Be merciful, Reddit. I'll try to keep this short for you guys. I'm a 16-year-old lifeguard and it was a relatively busy day at the pool. I was currently guarding the deep end of the pool and this father had been turning around and not paying attention to his child all day. We had talked to him about it several times, but he constantly just said she could swim fine and paid attention to her for a couple seconds before stopping again. The daughter was maybe 8 and she could swim, but she'd been doing it all day and was tired. At one point, the father left her in the deep end and went to talk to some fellow parent in the shallow end. The kid started to show signs of drowning, flailing arms, bobbing up and down in the water, etc. She's freaking out. So I blow a long whistle, the sign for an active victim, and get off my stand and go in after the kid. Not a very hard save, nothing dramatic. I just had to offer her the lifeguard tube to hang on to and tell her not to grab my neck. We get to the wall and the dad is already standing there and he blows up on me. I don't remember exactly the stuff he said, but it went something like, "What the heck, you pedophile? I told you she could swim. What are you thinking touching my kid?" I was shocked. I couldn't think of anything to say, and he started screaming about getting my manager for wasting his time and touching his daughter. I got back up on stand, a little shaken. 1, it's my first save of the summer, and 2, I was just yelled at and called a pedophile in my place of work, which involves watching children. Not exactly the best situation. Luckily, my supervisor is a 26-year-old woman who doesn't take flack from anyone, especially about her lifeguards. When I got off my shift, she told me he'd complained to her about me. She'd seen the whole thing and chewed him out about endangering his child and kicked him out of the pool. He hasn't been back for the rest of the summer. This almost sounds too impossible to be true, but there are actually people out there who believe this. Like that famous resuscitation lady. It is never okay for men to give CPR to an unconscious woman. Resuscitation is just a fancy word for rape. I wonder if one of these entitled parents were drowning in a pool, if they'd want a lifeguard to save them, or if they'd rather just have the lifeguard let them figure it out on my own. Our next Reddit post is from Taken By Me. I've been reading this sub for a while and never thought I would have something to post, but here I am. Last week, I was traveling for work. It had been a long 2 days of meetings and I was exhausted. I had just arrived at the airport for my evening cross-country flight home when I got the dreaded text from the airline saying my flight was delayed 2 hours due to mechanical problems. I decided to pass the time by getting something to eat. I found an airport restaurant and sat down to order. I ordered my food and pulled my phone out of my bag to catch up on email and browse the web while waiting for my food to arrive. While I was waiting, a family with a mom, dad, little girl about 5 years old, and a middle school age looking boy sat at a table near me. I didn't pay much attention as I was looking at email on my phone, but then I hear the little girl exclaim in a rather loud voice, "Look, Mom, the lady is on her phone at the table." I then hear the mother reply, "Yes, she shouldn't be doing that. It is rude to have a phone at the table." I glance over and the mother says to me, "We have a rule that no phones are allowed at the table." My first reaction was to say something snarky as exhaustion was definitely getting the better of me. But then I thought better of it and decided to be polite. I looked at the little girl and said, "We have the same rule in my family, but since I'm here alone, I'm not being rude to anybody by looking at my phone now." At this point, the son looks like he wants to crawl under the table from embarrassment, and the dad is trying to hand the mom a menu and says, "It's okay, let's just order." I think that will be the end of it, but no. The mom says, "Obviously you have a family, so you know how important it is to follow rules. I would appreciate it if you put away your phone," in a tone that a parent would use on a petulant teen. The little girl chimes in and says, "Yeah, you have to put your phone away. My brother can't have his phone at the table, so you can't either." I look at the little girl and say in as sweet as a tone as I can muster, "Well, the great thing about being a grown-up is that I can do whatever I want, so I'm gonna keep looking at my phone," and turn back to my email. The mother sighs loudly. The teen looks even more embarrassed, and the dad tries to get the mom to just order and leave me alone. The mom calls the waiter over and asks to be reseated. He grudgingly moves them to a different table. My food arrives and I eat in peace, enjoying browsing Reddit. OP, you should have been like, "Well, in my family, we teach people not to stick their noses in other people's business. But clearly, your mommy isn't teaching you how to do that." Our next Reddit post is from Karma Cookie. So, a little backstory is in order. I have 2 young adult children living at home, ages 18 and 19. They both work and go to college. I trust my kids. I trust their decision-making skills. When they graduated high school and turned 18, new rules went into place. No curfew, just call me and let me know if you're going to be out all night so I don't worry. You can call me at any time for a pickup, no questions asked, just don't be stupid and drink and drive. Yes, your significant other can sleep over or come over for the weekend, just let me know what's going on. Pay me a small rent during the summer when you're working full time and pay your part of the car insurance. You have your chores and I have mine. We all work together. I tell them that if they're being buttholes and they listen, in turn, I listen to them. There is very little fighting or arguing in my house. This is their time to spread their wings and learn how to be a responsible adult and have me as a safety net. Lately, one of my kids' significant others has been spending a lot of time over at my house. He's here pretty much all the time. 2 days ago, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize and I answered it. It was my daughter's boyfriend's mother. Hello? "You need to tell my kid he isn't allowed over your house anymore." Who is this? "This is Tommy's mother." I already know where this is going. Oh, Tommy's mom. I have to say you raised a great kid. He is always polite and respectful. In fact, look, I don't care what you think about my kid. He is never at home. He isn't spending any time with me. Okay, there isn't much I can do about that. Yes, there is. Tell him he can't come over to your house anymore. I want him home. And you set a bad example for my son. Your daughter has no curfew, and I am sick and tired hearing how nice it is at your house. I miss him and want him home. Me speaking very slowly and basically growling into the phone. Are you done yelling at me? I think I stunned her into silence. I'll take that as a yes. Do you trust the way you raised your son? What? It's a simple question. Do you trust the way you raised your son? Of course I do. What does that have to do with anything? Do you trust him to make good decisions? Yes, of course. She's starting to calm down now. Mother to mother, I know things are not okay at your house right now. Her husband drinks a lot. I am trying to give your child a safe place when things are not okay at your house. She starts to cut me off at this point, but I won't let her. It's not your fault. He throws your son out for days at a time, doesn't he? Yes. I can hear her choking back the tears. Do you need someone to talk to? Would you want to go out to lunch? That way you can feel safer knowing whose house your son is at and that he's safe. That would be okay. We were on the phone for about an hour after that. What started out as an entitled mother was just a scared woman feeling very, very alone. Sorry there wasn't any righteous retribution, but I think it turned out okay. I'm gonna try to get 19-year-old Tommy's curfew changed from 10 p.m. to midnight, and maybe he can stay over for a weekend. This post goes to show that maybe all entitled parents are just misunderstood and deep down, they're good people. Nah. That was rSlash entitled parent, and I'm rSlash's mommy, MomSlash. And I expect each and every one of you to subscribe to my precious baby's channel because he works so hard on his videos. So he deserves your subscription. Also, be sure to like his video, otherwise I'm calling the police.